All right, so I just got back from watching Crime 101, the latest crime, the thriller from Chris Hemsworth, Mark Ruffalo, Halle Berry, a bunch of other names, but those are probably the three biggest. Nick Nolte's in this too for a little while. And yeah, it's a crime thriller where Chris Hemsworth plays a thief who is sort of a noble Robin Hood type. He doesn't give back to the poor necessarily, but he only steals from rich people and he doesn't hurt anybody in the process. So, and Mark Ruffalo plays the grizzled, kind of down on his luck police detective who's trying to put the patterns together and figure out what's going on and try to arrest this guy. So it seems pretty standard fare when I describe it to you that way, but this movie is very good. In fact, I think it's my favorite movie of the year so far. Now, we're still in February, so there's a lot of movies to go, but so far, this is my favorite movie. And it's because it takes a very familiar formula, and if you're a fan of this type of movie, it does the sort of things you enjoy with this type of movie. It's got some cool car chases, but it's also got really, not the most stressful things I've ever seen. We're not at like The Departed levels of stressing out tension scenes, but pretty stressful stuff, especially when, one character knows things that another character doesn't know, and there's some, dramatic irony going on there. There's a lot of good stuff like that going on. There's also a lot of yeah moments, because you really do get attached to the characters, and that's the biggest thing this movie has going for it, is that the characters are very well realized and very human. This movie does a good job of humanizing stereotypes that you would see normally in movies. The detective, the honorable thief, the civilian, right? The bad thief, right? They are all humanized to varying degrees, where there's basically, you kind of feel for everybody at some point in this movie. Even our villain, I kind of felt bad for him at one point. I'm not going to spoil it when, but even I felt sympathy for him, which I was not feeling until this one part of the movie. I'm like, oh. So this movie really shines with its characters. There wasn't a single main character I wasn't invested in. I wanted to see everybody succeed, but I was stressed out because these characters that I liked are on opposing paths that are going to reach conflict at some point. And so I was very, very kind of anxious to see where this is going to lead. So yeah, I definitely recommend people watch this movie, especially if you enjoy sort of more serious crime thrillers. I don't think it's going to go down in history as the next Goodfellas or The Departed or something like that, but it is a decent movie that I enjoyed quite a bit. So if you like this sort of thing, it's definitely worth watching in the theater. I do think it is that good. But if you're not super interested in it, it's still worth checking out on streaming. I think you could be convinced that it's good. Yeah, so those are my thoughts on Crime 101.